my brother. You know, I've been thinking about something. We've talked about this. Let's give the people more. Oh, they're gonna f*** it up.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today I'm going to be talking about not a brand new movie, but a newer movie still in theaters as of this recording, The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, Divine Joy Randolph, and Brad Pitt. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here for our soft reopening here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Thank you for all of your well wishes. Thank you for all of your inquiries, wondering when the show would come back. I swear to you, it was not intended as an April Fool's joke. As I've stated on Ask the Dads, on Open Mic Night, things just didn't quite fall into place for me as far as my move and my transition and everything that I was trying to accomplish. Truth be told, it still hasn't. However, in this place where I am currently residing, I have been allowed use of the office space to do shows for you guys. It's the same studio you've seen me use for Ask the Dads, for Open Mic Night, for the watch-along of WrestleMania. They've allowed me to use this office in order to make videos, to give you guys content, to bring the show back. So, figured, what better way to do it than with a soft reopening before we start hitting things hard, fast and furious, pun intended, on May 2nd with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies. So I figured I've seen a couple movies in theaters with my girlfriend recently. Let's throw those out there. That way, if these movies are still playing in your local areas, after hearing me talk about them, you may want to go see them. Let's get down to business here, shall we? Now, as our movie opens, we meet Loretta Sage, a reclusive, middle-aged author of romance adventure novels, which are centered around her fictional hero, Dash McMahon, who is portrayed by a cover model named Alan Caprison. Loretta's publisher, Beth, pushes and insists that Loretta embark upon a book tour in order to promote her latest novel, draw some publicity. After a disastrous beginning, primarily due to the popularity of Alan's Dash persona, Loretta ends up being kidnapped by Abigail Fairfax, an eccentric billionaire. Now, Abigail has discovered that Loretta's books, although fictitious, are based on actual historical research that she had done previously with her now deceased archaeologist husband. Furthermore, Fairfax has discovered a lost city on a remote island in the Atlantic Ocean and is convinced that it is the location of a priceless artifact known as the Crown of Fire. Now, when Loretta declines to assist Abigail in deciphering an ancient map to the treasure, Abigail, who fears the site will be destroyed by an active volcano, chloroforms Loretta and takes her to the island against her will. Now, Alan is secretly enamored with Loretta, and he witnesses her kidnapping and springs into action. He recruits a former Navy SEAL turned CIA operative named Jack Traynor to meet him at the island and help him coordinate a rescue attempt. Now, Jack, with zero assistance from Alan, is able to breach Abigail's compound and free Loretta. But before they can make it back to the airport, Jack is shot in the head, which forces Alan and Loretta to escape into the jungle. Loretta and Alan spend an entire day fighting off Abigail's henchmen before they are finally able to reach a nearby village, where Loretta hears a local sing a folk song. And Loretta deduces through some of the lyrics of the song that the crown is hidden in a sinkhole within the jungle. However, before she and Alan can leave, Fairfax once again captures Loretta. Alan once again leaps into action and a chase ensues as he attempts to save Loretta. The pair are then forced to divulge the location of the treasure to Abigail. However, upon reaching the treasure's location, they discover that the tomb is not a monument for King Colomon's power, but it is in fact a hiding place for his queen to grieve for the loss of her husband, and that the crown of fire was made of red seashells gathered by the king and bestowed upon to her one each day to make the crown. And she is now laying deceased next to her husband. The actual treasure of the legend wasn't some priceless jewel, but the inseparable love between a king and a queen, a man and his wife. Now, infuriated by this revelation, Fairfax forces Alan and Loretta into the tomb as the volcano begins to erupt. But one of Abigail's henchmen has a change of heart, and he leaves a crowbar in the tomb in order to help Alan and Loretta escape, before he betrays Fairfax, leaving him stranded on the island. Beth then arrives on the scene with the local Coast Guard, and Abigail Fairfax is arrested for his crimes. Loretta's next book, which is based on the adventure that just took place, is a hit, and she and Alan share a kiss while on holiday together. In a mid-credits scene, we see Loretta and Alan attending a yoga class where they are surprised to find Jack Traynor, who somehow survived his assassination attempt. This is one of two movies that I saw in the theaters on this particular day, and the other one we'll get into in a couple of days here. But I really enjoy these type of movies, these scavenger hunt type of movies. It definitely had a bit of a national treasure type of vibe in the whole trying to solve clues to find this mysterious treasure hidden on an island somewhere. It had that whole Indiana Jones national treasure, type of feel to it, and I really get into those type of movies. Then you factor in Sandra Bullock, who I have personally loved since her appearance in Demolition Man back in the early 90s. That was when I first became aware of Sandra Bullock. And I've pretty much followed her career from that to Speed, Miss Congeniality, etc., etc. The list goes on and on. So I've always been a fan of hers, and I love the fact that she does not take herself too seriously. She is willing to do slapsticky comedy and make fun of herself. So it was really good to see her back doing that type of comedy. And Channing Tatum was the perfect leading man to bounce off of that because Channing Tatum is another one of those who just doesn't take himself seriously. I mean, you think of movies like 21 and 22 Jump Street, and he knows when to make fun of himself, and he knows that when he makes fun of himself, it'll be it'll be good. It'll make money. It'll draw. Got to draw money. Got to draw money. They'll be back for the next film. You know, Channing has that innate sense to him. Daniel Radcliffe impressed the hell out of me in this. He was the villain Abigail Fairfax, and I haven't seen a whole lot of Daniel's filmography, which may surprise you. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. To date, I have only seen the original Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone film. I've seen it twice, and it just didn't grab me. It didn't reel me into the Wizarding World universe like so many expected it to, considering my love for the MCU, the Star Wars universe, etc. But it just didn't grip me and grab me the way that those do. I'm willing to give it a chance. I've been told that you've got to get past like the third movie before things really start rolling. But I'm a firm believer that if you can't hook me with the trailer or in a series like this, the first movie, I'm probably not going to enjoy the rest of it. But knowing that Daniel made his name playing Harry Potter for all those years in those movies, I feel like he's definitely branched out. I feel like he's definitely expanded his portfolio with this film. And like I said, he did an amazing job as the villain because I wasn't expecting it based off of his filmography and his history. And if you pay close attention to some of the dialogue, especially when he's initially pitching the expedition to Loretta, to Sandra Bullock's character, he makes a couple of jokes that very much seem to tie back to Harry Potter. So once again, here he is making fun of himself, much in the same vein that Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock are, and that just adds to the aura of this film. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for it to come out onto DVD and Blu-ray, which the way that movies are coming out these days, it'll probably be sooner rather than later. I believe this hit theaters at the end of March, so probably within the next month or so, it'll be out of theaters and onto digital streaming and home media. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you get out there. Try to see it in theaters if it's still playing in your area. When it comes to this film, I give The Lost City 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it, as I've stated a couple times already. I like the way the humor was written, the adventure, the storytelling, the scavenger hunt, treasure hunt aspect. Definitely right there in my wheelhouse. All parties involved did an amazing job. For those of you out there that have seen this film already, what did you think? Let me know. If you're watching along during the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching along later in the day on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But whatever you do, let me know what you thought of The Lost City. The next time we come to you in 2 days, I'm going to be doing Renegades reviews not on a daily anymore, but on an every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday basis from here on out. That way it doesn't overwhelm me. That way I can continue to do my work, my regular job driving for Lyft, and still make a decent amount of money. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays will be Renegades reviews from here on out. So when I come to you next, right here on an all new episode of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel, I will be talking about the other film that I saw in the theaters when I saw The Lost City. I'll be talking about Uncharted, starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Sophia Ali, Tati Gabrielle, Rudy Pankow, and Antonio Banderas. You're not going to want to miss out on that one right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Right back here on an all new episode of Renegades Reviews. Thank you very much to all of you who have tuned in for the soft grand reopening here at Renegades Reviews on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am the Renegade JJ Williams, and I will see you guys next time.